How is Sydney Sweeney doing? Skip.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're zooming in on Sydney Sweeney and the exciting shifts happening in her personal life, plus how it all ties into her signature lifestyle, career momentum, and the buzz surrounding her right now. If you're into real-life glow-ups, Hollywood journeys, and all things Sydney, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a beat. Let's get started. Born Sydney Bernice Sweeney on September 12, 1997, in Spokane, Washington, Sydney grew up in the scenic Pacific Northwest in a family that valued hard work, integrity, and personal responsibility. Her father worked in the medical field, while her mother was a lawyer, and together they instilled in Sydney and her younger brother a strong sense of discipline and resilience. The Sweeney household wasn't rooted in the arts, but it was deeply supportive, encouraging Sydney to pursue her interest with passion and focus. Raised in the small town of rural northern Idaho, Sydney's early life was shaped by the rugged environment and close community that surrounded her. Far from the glitz of Hollywood, she spent her formative years hiking, skiing, and engaging in outdoor activities, developing a grounded and adventurous spirit. From a young age, she was known for her driven personality and insatiable curiosity. Her upbringing was modest, and her family often made sacrifices to support her budding interests, teaching her the value of perseverance and sacrifice, qualities that would become central to her character. Sydney's first brush with the performing arts came unexpectedly. At the age of 12, when an independent film crew arrived in her hometown to shoot a low-budget zombie movie, she submitted a detailed 5-year business plan to her parents, outlining how she would break into the acting industry. This moment wasn't just precocious. It revealed her unique blend of ambition, strategy, and commitment. Her parents were moved by her determination and agreed to let her audition, leading to her first small role and igniting a passion that would chart the course of her future. Despite the early glimmer of interest, Sydney remained a diligent student. A self-described overachiever, she graduated high school with a 4.0 GPA and was active in sports, particularly soccer and mixed martial arts. She trained in MMA and even competed in grappling competitions, a surprising but telling detail that underscores her fierce drive and physical discipline. These early interests, while not directly tied to acting, helped develop her mental toughness and confidence, traits that would serve her well in the competitive world of film and television. Her parents, particularly her mother, played an instrumental role in nurturing her career. When it became clear that acting was more than a hobby, Sydney and her mother began making frequent trips to Los Angeles for auditions, often living out of hotel rooms or rentals to accommodate Sydney's schedule. The strain of pursuing such an unpredictable path eventually took a toll on the family, financially and emotionally, but Sydney never wavered in her commitment. Early mentors and coaches in Los Angeles recognized her talent and work ethic, and she began booking small roles on shows like Criminal Minds and 90210. These early gigs weren't glamorous, but they were critical in helping her build experience and industry connections. She absorbed everything she could from sets, watching and learning from seasoned actors, directors, and producers. With a small-town upbringing, an analytical mind, and a relentless drive to prove herself, Sydney Sweeney's early years laid the foundation for a career built on grit and versatility. Her journey from the forests of Idaho to the soundstages of Hollywood is a testament to her focus, resilience, and deep-rooted belief in herself, qualities that continue to define her ascent in the entertainment world.
Is there something that you want to say about the ad itself? The Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Do you have...
The ad spoke for itself.
You think the ad spoke for itself? Okay.
Career and success. Sydney Sweeney's journey from a determined small-town girl to one of the most sought-after talents in Hollywood is a story of quiet persistence, strategic choices, and fearless versatility. After gaining traction with minor roles in series like Grey's Anatomy and Pretty Little Liars, Sydney spent much of the 2010s steadily honing her craft, gradually carving a space for herself in an industry known for its fierce competition. Her early performances were marked by emotional depth and an uncanny ability to portray vulnerability even in limited screen time, a skill that would soon become her trademark. Her true breakout came in 2018 with HBO's Sharp Objects, where she played Alice, a tragic figure in a psychiatric hospital opposite Amy Adams. Though her role was relatively small, her haunting performance left a lasting impression, catching the attention of both audiences and industry insiders. That same year, she joined the critically acclaimed Hulu series The Handmaid's Tale as Eden Spencer, further cementing her reputation as a young actress with remarkable range and emotional intelligence. But it was in 2019, with HBO's provocative teen drama Euphoria, that Sydney Sweeney truly catapulted into mainstream fame. As Cassie Howard, a high schooler navigating love, shame, and self-worth, Sweeney delivered a complex, nuanced performance that resonated deeply with viewers. Her portrayal was equal parts heartbreaking and magnetic, elevating what could have been a stereotypical role into a fully realized, empathetic character. The show's bold style and raw storytelling turned it into a cultural juggernaut, and Sweeney quickly emerged as one of its most talked-about stars. Her performance earned widespread critical acclaim and multiple award nominations, making her a defining face of Gen Z television. Following Euphoria, Sydney proved she was far from a one-note performer. In 2021, she starred in Mike White's Emmy-winning HBO series The White Lotus, where her role as Olivia Mossbacher, an intellectual, disaffected college student, showcased her ability to embody satire, cynicism, and quiet menace. The show became a breakout hit and further demonstrated Sydney's growing range, earning her an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a limited series. As her profile rose, so did her ambitions. Sydney began taking on leading roles in feature films, including The Voyeurs, 2021, and Reality, 2023, the latter of which premiered to critical praise at the Berlin International Film Festival. In Reality, Sweeney portrayed NSA whistleblower reality winner with stunning restraint and precision, drawing comparisons to established dramatic heavyweights and confirming her as one of the most compelling young actors of her generation. Not content with just being in front of the camera, Sydney expanded her creative reach by launching her own production company, 50/50 Films, in 2020. Through this venture, she took control of her career narrative, advocating for more female-led stories and giving herself the power to shape the roles she plays. Her first major project as a producer and star was Anyone But You, 2023, a modern rom-com that became a surprise box office success and revived interest in the genre for younger audiences. She has received multiple nominations from the Primetime Emmys, Screen Actors Guild, and Critics' Choice Awards, signaling her growing recognition by her peers and the industry at large. As her career continues to evolve, Sydney Sweeney is working across diverse genres, from the haunting convent horror of Immaculate, 2024, to the emotionally charged boxing biopic Christie, 2025, and the psychological thriller The Housemaid, set for December 2025 release. She's also returned to prestige television with the upcoming season of Euphoria, reaffirming her versatility in both film and TV.
What did Sydney Sweeney do before acting? I was a child. I went to school. I played soccer, hung out with my friends. I ate dirt. I don't know. I was a kid.
Income and wealth. Sydney Sweeney's financial ascent mirrors her rapid rise in Hollywood, strategic, ambitious, and multifaceted. As of 2025, her estimated net worth is between $10 million and $15 million, according to various entertainment finance sources. While not yet at the level of legacy stars, Sydney's earnings trajectory is steep and diversified, with income drawn from acting, producing, brand partnerships, and business ventures. A substantial portion of Sydney's income comes from her work on high-profile television and film projects. After her breakout on HBO's Euphoria, her salary reportedly jumped significantly, eventually reaching around $350,000 per season, with potential back-end bonuses. Her role in The White Lotus, another HBO hit, boosted both her visibility and her paycheck, solidifying her as a bankable star for prestige television. In the film world, her income has grown with her leading roles. Projects like Reality and Anyone But You helped position her as a commercial and critical draw, with leading actress fees in the mid to high six figures. Per film, Sydney's fashion-forward image has also turned her into a major force in the brand and endorsement space. She's secured lucrative deals with global brands such as Armani Beauty, Laneige, and Miu Miu, where she serves as both ambassador and campaign face. These partnerships reportedly bring in millions annually, adding a strong commercial layer to her public persona. She's also collaborated with jewelry and lifestyle brands, further expanding her earnings through sponsored content and licensing deals. In addition, Sydney has leveraged social media to build a profitable personal brand. With millions of followers across Instagram and TikTok, she commands substantial fees for promotional posts and campaigns, reportedly ranging from $25,000 to $100,000 per post, depending on the client and scope. Unlike many young stars, Sydney has been open about the realities of her financial obligations. In a now viral interview, she shared that despite her success, Hollywood isn't always as glamorous behind the scenes, especially when balancing travel, team salaries, and lifestyle costs. This transparency only reinforced her reputation as a grounded, financially aware figure navigating fame with eyes wide open. Looking forward, Sydney Sweeney's income streams are expected to expand significantly with her growing power as both an actress and producer, and her increasing clout in the fashion and commercial sectors. She's laying the foundation for a lasting, diversified career. As her production company scales and her filmography deepens, Sydney is not just earning more, she's building an empire. Life and lifestyle. From Hollywood red carpets to vintage car garages and MMA gyms, Sydney Sweeney's lifestyle is a unique blend of glamour, grit, and genuine passion. As her career and income have grown, so too has the public's interest in her off-screen life. A life that reveals a refreshingly grounded, hands-on individual with an array of surprising interests and a strong sense of self. Despite her rising star status, Sydney has remained deeply connected to her hobbies, many of which reflect her upbringing in rural Idaho. Among her most talked-about passions is her love for classic cars. She's not just a casual enthusiast. Sydney is a fully engaged gearhead who restores vintage vehicles herself. In 2022, she went viral for documenting the restoration of a 1969 Ford Bronco, a project she tackled during her downtime between roles. She's since continued working on cars and even launched a TikTok account, where she shares updates, earning admiration for her authenticity and mechanical skills. It's an unusual hobby in Hollywood circles, and one that showcases her independent spirit and hands-on personality. Another facet of Sydney's lifestyle is her background in mixed martial arts. She began training in MMA at the age of 14 and has competed in grappling tournaments, an interest that not only contributes to her physical fitness, but also underlines the strength and discipline she brings to her roles and her life. Her athleticism complements her action-oriented career path, including her foray into superhero films, and reflects a deeper commitment to self-empowerment and resilience. Sydney also has a deep love for fashion and beauty, often making waves with her red carpet appearances and brand campaigns. Whether she's in custom Miu Miu or sporting vintage jeans in her garage, her style is effortlessly adaptable, sophisticated yet approachable, glamorous but never out of touch. Her fashion choices have landed her partnerships with major luxury brands, where she blends personal taste with a strong visual brand. Her off-duty style tends to be casual, favoring denim, soft knits, and minimal makeup, reflecting the balance she maintains between her Hollywood career and her more introverted, low-key personal life. When she's not working or training, Sydney enjoys spending time with her close-knit circle of family and friends. She's often seen with her dog, Tank, and frequently shares snippets of her home life, quiet mornings, and road trips. Despite her demanding schedule, she prioritizes rest, privacy, and activities that keep her grounded. Philanthropy is also becoming a growing part of Sydney's public persona. While she hasn't yet launched her own foundation, she has used her platform to advocate for mental health awareness, female empowerment, and STEM education for young women, especially through her partnership work with brands and appearances at charity-driven events. As someone who has spoken openly about the pressures of fame and financial stress, Sydney connects with younger fans by highlighting the real-world challenges that come with success, often offering encouragement and transparency rather than polished perfection. Of course, no public figure rises without facing scrutiny, and Sydney has continued to encounter her share of online backlash. In 2025, a playful fashion campaign she participated in unexpectedly drew widespread criticism after some viewers interpreted its wordplay and imagery as carrying uncomfortable or insensitive undertones. What was intended as a light, humorous advertisement quickly became the subject of heated debate across social media, with discussions ranging from branding missteps to broader concerns about cultural awareness in celebrity-led campaigns. Amid the escalating conversation, Sydney offered only a brief acknowledgement before stepping back from the public back and forth. She avoided engaging in prolonged commentary, choosing instead to focus on her ongoing projects and maintain a calm, measured distance from the controversy. For some, her restraint raised questions about whether public figures should respond more directly to such moments. For others, it demonstrated a mature refusal to amplify a situation already magnified by online discourse. Rather than allow the incident to overshadow her work, Sydney approached it with composure and quiet professionalism, an approach that, much like in earlier situations, underscored her preference for maintaining personal boundaries, even while navigating the demands of an increasingly reactive digital landscape.
Is Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell related?
I really hope not.
No.
I don't think so.
I haven't done the 23andMe.
Should we?
No, they just got hacked. It's not the time to do 23andMe. There are better uses of your spit for...
Personal relationships. Just as Sydney Sweeney's rising career has been fueled by discipline and daring choices, her personal relationships have provided a powerful source of balance and support behind the scenes. While she's famously private about her romantic life, recent developments have signaled a significant new chapter, one that could soon include marriage and a family of her own. For several years, Sydney was in a long-term relationship with Chicago-based businessman Jonathan Davino. The two began dating in 2018, eventually getting engaged in 2022. Though they maintained a relatively low public profile, Davino was often seen by her side at events and industry functions, and they were known to work together behind the scenes, with him even helping to support her production company, 50/50 Films. However, in early 2025, the engagement quietly ended. While the breakup was never directly addressed by Sydney herself, sources close to the couple suggested that the separation was amicable and reflected a mutual decision to focus on personal growth and career priorities. Soon after, Sydney found herself at the center of renewed public attention when her relationship with music executive Scooter Braun began making headlines. What began as casual dating quickly evolved into something more serious. The couple made their public debut in mid-2025 and have since been spotted together at private events, red carpet after-parties, and weekend getaways, signaling a deepening bond. By the fall, close friends and sources within their circles began confirming what many had suspected. This wasn't a fleeting romance. According to People magazine and others familiar with their relationship, Sydney and Scooter are not only serious, they are planning to get married, with the wedding expected to take place sometime in 2026. Those close to the couple describe a relationship marked by shared values, mutual respect, and emotional alignment. Sydney is said to value the way Scooter supports her autonomy and career without overshadowing it, while Scooter, already experienced in the business of entertainment, admires her drive and grounded personality. While no official engagement announcement has been made, preparations are reportedly already underway. Sources suggest the wedding may take place in a private, picturesque setting, possibly a destination ceremony in Italy, or a quiet estate ceremony in the Pacific Northwest, where Sydney has strong ties. The couple is believed to be planning an intimate affair focused on close family and trusted friends, in keeping with Sydney's preference for privacy and authenticity. Beyond romance, family continues to be a central pillar in Sydney's life. She maintains a close relationship with her parents and younger brother, Trent, all of whom were instrumental in supporting her career from the beginning. Her bond with her mother is especially strong, as the two spent years traveling back and forth to Los Angeles when Sydney was first starting out. Even as her fame has grown, she has kept her family close, often including them in milestone events and visiting home whenever possible. Her down-to-earth upbringing continues to shape how she approaches relationships, valuing loyalty, honesty, and long-term commitment. Professionally, Sydney has built a network of trusted collaborators and friends within the industry. Her close working relationship with Euphoria creator Sam Levinson has been pivotal to her creative development, and her friendships with co-stars like Maude Apatow and Zendaya have provided a sense of camaraderie amid the high-pressure world of television. Her connection with director Tina Satter, forged during their collaboration on Reality, further reflects her desire to work with individuals who challenge and inspire her artistically. As she steps into this new phase of life, Sydney's relationships reflect not only her maturity, but also her clarity of purpose. Whether in love, family, or friendship, she seeks connection that is sincere, supportive, and aligned with her values. Her romance with Scooter Braun appears to represent a merging of personal and professional worlds in a way that feels balanced and empowering, suggesting that, even in the whirlwind of fame, Sydney remains firmly in control of her own story. If the wedding does take place next year as expected, it will mark a new milestone not just in Sydney Sweeney's personal journey, but in the evolution of her public identity. No longer simply a breakout star or Hollywood's it girl, she's becoming a woman who knows exactly what she wants, from her career, her partnerships, and her future. As her relationships continue to evolve, they serve as a reflection of the same qualities that have brought her success on screen: confidence, authenticity, and a quiet, unwavering strength. Real estate. Sydney Sweeney's real estate portfolio reflects her blend of youthful ambition, vintage style, and a practical yet evolving sense of luxury. As her Hollywood profile has grown, so too has her investment in properties that balance comfort, creativity, and long-term value. Early in her property journey, Sydney purchased a charming West Los Angeles home in the Westwood neighborhood in late 2021 for around $3 million. The 1933-built, Tudor-style residence spans approximately 3,200 square feet and includes 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. One of the most unique features is a funicular rail that transports guests from the street-set garage up the hill to the front door, an elegant nod to classic hillside Hollywood charm. She described the property in interviews as a long-held dream, a way to mark her success while still staying grounded. In 2023, Sydney took on a more ambitious project, a fixer-upper estate in Bel Air, which she acquired for approximately $6 million. The 1930s property sits on about 1.25 acres, spanning 4,500 square feet with 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. With overgrown gardens, original architecture, and a guest house on site, the home was envisioned as a restoration project, one that would preserve its old Hollywood character while allowing modern updates. Sydney indicated she wanted it to feel timeless rather than obviously freshly renovated. Perhaps the most headline-grabbing acquisition came in June 2024 when Sydney purchased an oceanfront mansion in the Florida Keys for $13.5 million. The home is expansive, approximately 7,720 square feet, and features 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, chef's kitchen, a lavish 520-bottle wine room, a 330-gallon aquarium, home gym, game room, and private boat dock. The outdoor space is equally impressive, with an infinity pool complete with swim-up bar, spa, and direct access to the water. In addition to the luxury holdings, Sydney has also invested in a very personal property: her childhood home in Idaho or her family's generational residence. She repurchased her great-grandmother's home near Spokane, demonstrating her commitment to roots and family legacy. Looking ahead, there are reports that Sydney is considering another major Los Angeles acquisition. She was recently seen touring a historic Bel Air estate listed for about $15 million, a sprawling 9-bedroom property built in 1936 on nearly 2 acres, complete with guest house, tennis court, and gated long driveway. While no purchase has been confirmed, the tour underscores her growing ambition as a real estate investor. What's remarkable about Sydney's portfolio is the way it mirrors her personality. She gravitates toward homes with character, vintage architecture, unique features like funiculars, aquariums, or car ramps, and blends them with modern amenities that suit her active lifestyle. Her Florida estate speaks to her love of travel, water, and entertaining. Her Los Angeles homes speak to her connection to Hollywood style and her desire for both privacy and accessibility. Cars and vehicles. From her earliest driving days to her current garage of collectibles, Sydney Sweeney's relationship with cars is anything but ordinary. Deeply personal, hands-on, and refreshingly un-Hollywood. Her love of cars goes far beyond simply owning luxury vehicles. It's a passion she's cultivated since before she could even vote, and it has become one of the most distinctive and endearing elements of her public persona. Sydney's first vehicle wasn't a red carpet-ready ride, but rather a practical car befitting a teenager in rural Idaho. In interviews, she's mentioned driving a Toyota Camry during her early years, the kind of reliable, no-frills sedan perfect for snowy drives and long commutes to auditions. That early experience taught her the basics of car maintenance and built a foundation for what would later grow into a serious mechanical hobby. As her fame began to rise, so did her ambition, behind the wheel and under the hood. Rather than splurge on flashy sports cars, Sydney turned her attention to vintage vehicles, drawn to the craftsmanship and stories behind older models. She made headlines in 2022 when she began documenting her restoration of a 1969 Ford Bronco on TikTok. Working out of her home garage, Sydney gained a loyal following for her hands-on approach, doing everything from sanding panels to installing transmissions. The Bronco, once a rusting shell, became a symbol of her grit and independence. Her growing collection now includes several vintage classics, such as a 1967 Ford Mustang, a 1990s Jeep Cherokee, and a 1965 red Mustang convertible, each chosen for its character rather than status. These aren't just showroom pieces, they're weekend projects and daily drivers that showcase her mechanical skills and deep appreciation for automotive history. Sydney's cars aren't about luxury in the traditional celebrity sense. While she's been spotted in modern vehicles like the Range Rover Sport or Mercedes GLE for everyday errands and red carpet arrivals, her heart clearly belongs to the classics. Her garage is as much a workspace as it is a showroom, complete with tool chests, car lifts, and oil-stained rags. In terms of broader travel, Sydney tends to keep things simple. While she occasionally travels by private jet for major press events or cross-country filming schedules, she's more often seen flying commercial or taking road trips, especially when traveling with friends or visiting family in the Pacific Northwest. Her down-to-earth roots and love of the open road make long drives feel more like a joy than a chore. Current lifestyle. Stepping confidently into 2025, Sydney Sweeney is no longer simply a breakout talent. She's an established creative force, pushing the boundaries of her career while staying deeply grounded in her identity. This year marks a pivotal moment for Sydney, one that blends bold artistic choices, growing business ventures, and a maturing public presence. Professionally, Sydney has expanded her repertoire with increasingly daring and diverse roles. She earned critical attention for her performance in the sports biopic Christy, where she portrays real-life boxer Christy Martin. The physically demanding role allowed her to channel her MMA background into a deeply emotional, transformative performance. Simultaneously, she stars alongside Julianne Moore in Echo Valley, a suspenseful Apple TV Plus thriller that showcases her dramatic range and affinity for psychologically complex material. Outside the entertainment world, Sydney remains a highly sought-after figure in fashion and advertising. In 2025, she launched a high-profile collaboration with American Eagle, blending her vintage-inspired aesthetic with accessible fashion. While the campaign sparked some online controversy, Sydney stood firm, reinforcing her position as someone unafraid to challenge public perception. She continues to serve as the face of luxury brands like Armani Beauty and Miu Miu, while cultivating her own personal style, an effortless mix of retro Americana and contemporary edge. In her personal life, Sydney's relationship with music executive Scooter Braun has become a central part of her narrative. After a whirlwind year of public sightings and increasing speculation, Those close to the couple say a wedding is likely to happen in 2026. The relationship, described as supportive and grounded, has provided Sydney with a sense of stability as her career continues to evolve. The couple has reportedly begun planning an intimate destination ceremony, possibly in Italy or on a private estate near Los Angeles, reflecting Sydney's preference for privacy and meaning over spectacle. Philanthropy has also become a larger focus for Sydney. In 2025, she was honored at the Variety Power of Women event for her growing influence and her commitment to empowering young women in non-traditional fields. Her passion for car restoration has inspired her to launch a STEM-focused scholarship fund for high school girls interested in automotive engineering and mechanical trades, a cause that merges her personal interest with social impact. She's also shown interest in mental health advocacy, speaking candidly about the pressures of fame and body image in an era of online scrutiny. Despite the occasional setbacks, such as mixed reviews and underwhelming box office results for Christie, Sydney has approached challenges with resilience and realism. Rather than shy away from criticism, she's leaned into authenticity, acknowledging the unpredictable nature of her industry while staying focused on long-term growth. In 2025, Sydney Sweeney exemplifies what it means to evolve with intention. She's building a portfolio that spans film, television, fashion, philanthropy, and business, without losing touch with the authenticity that first made her a fan favorite. By taking creative control, embracing personal challenges, and investing in projects that reflect her values, Sydney continues to resonate with both loyal fans and new audiences. Her current lifestyle reflects not only success, but self-awareness, and a deep understanding of how to thrive in the spotlight without losing yourself in it. That brings us to the end of this story. If you enjoyed it, don't miss the other celebrity journeys waiting for you on screen. Thanks so much for watching.